Good evening, this is Nerds the Human, and welcome back to our Ostrogoth Horde only campaign. And you join us in northern Italy, where a couple rather juicy looking targets are ready to get sacked. Indeed, if we can grab these two, we'll probably have a nice bucket of money to hire the next set of mercenaries to go on and continue smashing everything up. We already sacked a few of their eastern provinces last time, including Salona over here, Carnuntum, and whatever this one's called, Aquincum. That's the same from Rome, so I should really remember that. Alas, it's pretty meaningless in my mind. Anyhow, we're going to continue to keep our scouting network moving this direction, although probably best to snip. Okay, we've lost our only spy. That's irritating because I like spies, but in the end, probably not that important. That was a 93% chance, damn it. Good old Bold Theo failed us brutally. Okay, well, with Theo the Bold dead, we don't need to worry any more about that. We have no subtlety, we just have brute force. Medulanum will, of course, go down momentarily. Oh, it's Marcus the Gambler. He turns out to be one of the worst generals of all time. Absolutely marvellous. Captain Secundus is aptly named, I suppose, as the secondary force. And you might notice we do still have a tiny bit of force over here. Okay, so I don't think we're going to do a very good job of taking out the Goths, to be honest. With any luck, they'll kill... Well, okay, they'll generate new ones afterwards, and maybe the Sarmatians will get stuck in battle with them. The problem is when you try and settle against another horde, it just creates a horde, and then they go and kill you. So, okay, what I shouldn't have done at the end of last time was grab these two lads. So what I'm probably going to do is just run away. Just run away. We'll use these to trek on in this general direction. There are the Huns, or the Vandals even. Hi, Vandals. We'll send these guys over. Eventually they'll make it. This guy is a pillager, but he hasn't really picked up any other traits from his terrible, terrible fighting at the end of last time. Okay, right, in we go, Captain Augustulus. This should be a simple one for fear. Let's head straight in. It's a fairly uneventful approach here. As you can see, we have a couple of towers have made it to the walls. A couple of horses got shot down on their way, but no, they decided to run off back to the plaza. Probably best for them, to be honest. We're going to go grab the towers. That will shoot down anyone who decides to come back over to us. And there we are. The largely useless Bucellari can at least open up the gates for the time being. They're what? Okay, if you can get a nice clean shot, they are fine, but they are unfortunately not quite the crossbowmen of Medieval 2 just yet. But here we are, we've got ourselves a few more men up on the walls, grab the towers, and we should be running to the centre before very long at all.
Now the streets will run with blood.
Blood indeed. Hilariously, under the Triumphal Arch, these lads will get shot down by their own towers. All committences. Very, very fancy indeed. They're going to end up very, very dead before too long. Indeed, we could actually stop throwing javelins, but to be honest, I'm much happier just grabbing all of these towers for the time being. I don't think I actually got round to sending anyone through here, did I? I did not, so no, they're just going to get themselves shot down. Although, not as many dead yet as I thought there would be, but no, here come the arrows. No, they're not going to be in a very nice position before long. Might as well grab the next couple towers, because is there a road over here? No, it's a long way down actually. It's a long way round. We'll run them all the way over here. No problem. Fortunately, we are going to lose a few of these units to towers as we go, but if we can whittle down these lads, I guess that will suit very nicely. Hilariously, the horses have come to join the part. What happened to my men? I had some other men over here. Did they... Oh, I just left them to get shot by this tower. Oh, that's unfortunate. Would that tower be a problem over here? I think it might, you know. I think it just might. Well, that's slightly irritating. Okay, well, it's fine. I can hear the battle music going, but I'm not quite sure why. It might just be because those guys are getting shot down. These lads are entirely dealt with. I was going to laugh at these horses for being in a stupid place, but it turns out I'm the fool. And with the committences shot to ribbons, I think it's time just to grab all the horse archers, run into the town, and do this the good old-fashioned way. That is by shooting everyone down with horse archers, which of course is the best way of doing this. So, I think I may have a few too many horse archers for this kind of business, but we'll just grab them and hope that the pathfinding can figure out something desperately in this town. God, this is just a pain. Oh, it's because we're hordes, aren't we? Right, we are particularly terrible at doing any of this old business. Okay, well, about 3 hours' time, I might have settled this up. It does seem like their horses never made it back to the plaza, so it seems that we are now alone. Just a unit of... well, no, sorry. There is only Steve here himself. He has made it with his auxilia, ready to get himself shot down. How absolutely marvellous. And just like last time, these lads don't know how to horse, don't know how to skirmish, and they're running... They're just running through them. Why do you wish to die? Utter lunacy. Okay. Well, they're just going to continually run back in and get themselves shot, which is hilarious. Down goes Steve. And eventually we might be able to do... Why are they running... Okay, these are future residents of towns that we will never settle. Why are they doing that? I suppose they're just a bit impetuous. I'm assuming that is actually on their list of things. It's not. That's interesting. Well, that's a really, really stupid decision. Then you all deserve to die, if that's indeed how you go. You guys, since you want to fight hand-to-hand, you can go and do that if you're that much of a lunatic. And down they go, everyone, going for not so nice hand-to-hand death stabbing as the battle ends. God, we're incompetent. Yes, only the best send their own horses in to die under absolute hail of arrows. Oh well. 208 kills, they're 118, I suppose, overall. Large stone walls, we'll go for it. 7,000 monies to be paid to my mercenaries, but 10,000 from general looting. Okay, we foolishly decided to run this way, which is an interesting decision, to say the least. Particularly irritating, seeing as I was actually hoping to come and meet up maybe over on the bridge. So, that is what it is, I suppose. We're going to, in spite of all the money we're paying to Mercs, we are going to hire some more. And I suppose we might as well head straight into Marcus the Gambler, who does have himself a few committences, as well as a... oh, up the greens, indeed. Well, we're the yellows. Down you go, my good sir. Down you go, and you're nowhere near Britannia anymore. So, yes, let's take him out. He is scarred, but he is an absolute numpty. On we go then. Of course, we're going to go with the Horde formation, which eventually will become the U formation when we just surround them and absolutely murder them from all sides. We've got a few men left over there in the forest in case they ever want to come over here, but I suspect they're mainly just going to be shot down and be dead. So we'll let them get on with that. But in the meantime, we might as well start getting some people out to the flanks. That'll be absolutely grand. We can't quite separate people as much as I'd like, but, you know, we'll do what we can. General, go and mop up these lads. Actually, there's probably some infantry in front of them that's currently hiding or something. There we are. There are some of them. Okay. Yeah, maybe don't do any of that old charging business, my good sir. Yes, Marcus the Gambler, an interesting lad. Generally turns into someone... Is he the one who generally turns out with the guy with about -30 morale? I think there's someone like that. It certainly was last time I played this game. Anyhow, there's some very interesting characters at the start of this, which I very much appreciate. They're good fun. Oh no, we're back to this terrible thing where the skirmish mode isn't activated when they're in javelin range. Absolute insanity. Yeah, did that change in Rome Remastered? Probably not, but because I suppose it's just not in skirmish range. But it is a little thing that's very, very irritating. Limitane, or whatever they're supposed to be called. Yeah, it is Limitane. I normally call them the Illuminati. There we are. I got something right, ladies and gentlemen. Be very, very proud indeed. So we're just going to continue the old surround here. Yeah, obviously there are all sorts of odd characters like Spurius Flavius, isn't it? Is he the most Christian man who ever Christianed? Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, if you're playing the Western Empire campaign, it is absolutely imperative that you grab him and start converting everyone to Christianity. Some very powerful Christianity conversion traits going on in this game. I'm not sure the pagans have anything quite as powerful, to be honest. They might do, but not something that I've ever really noticed, to be honest. Generally better to be Christian, if at all possible. We are actually Christian. They're mainly fun because of the Aryan priests. I do love the Aryan priests, as you might well know from previous videos. Particularly, I think they are just running away, actually, aren't they? Looks like we're going to have to take him out another day. Okay, alright, Marcus. Okay, Marcus, we get it. You're an absolute fiend who doesn't want to fight. Okay, well, we'll get the general in on those lads. Those committences who are going to get surrounded. The rest of the lads are fleeing. You guys into them. You lads over here. You lads into them. You lads into them. Is my general dead yet? He's not. That's good news. I was thoroughly expecting that to happen, whilst I was paying absolutely zero attention. Oh well, time to end this battle when it's Marcus the Gambler, who gambled many a life today, except I can't talk. I was about to finish then. That was supposed to be the end of a good sentence. Yeah, he gambled with many lives today, but not his own. It turns out we've actually lost a few men here. Yes, indeed. One of the things that's interesting about Marcus the Gambler is that he is an expert infantry general and a terrible cavalry general. I'm not sure if he's based on anyone in particular. He might be. Haven't actually done much research on that sort of thing. I'd certainly think Spurious Flavius isn't based on any one specific as far as I'm aware, but yeah, they're interesting. I do think if you're going to, obviously Rome Total War is a bit more of a blank slate. This is very much, well, empires are already formed, that's kind of the whole point. So I do think it's interesting to have some very well-made characters, and we are shooting each other down very much here. Incredibly incompetent show, but I guess that's probably the chaos of horse archer craziness. 76 kills by them. I can't help but notice that we've lost, though, over 110. So, yeah, we've definitely shot some of our own, but it's mostly Marcus the Gambler who escaped. We'll get back to him. And off he flees up north. We will deal with him at a later point, I suppose. As for all of this nonsense, you go and take the bridge. You should really be over here, but, oh well, it is what it is, I suppose. Now, Ravenna is very well guarded, so we could go for that right now, but we could just dance on past and maybe deal with that another time. Okay, we'll send these lads over here. There's a few more men to go and take out. I'll grab an actual general, perhaps. You know what, Almeric hasn't had too much of a run out yet. You go over here. You grab all of your horses. Anytime. There we go. Grab more horses. That's what we want to see. A full stack and one extra because I can't count. And then we will head in to slaughter this lot. Oh, they're not in a good position. They are not in a good position at all. We'll let them plod off in that direction for the time being. And I think what we'll do is we will grab as many of our good infantry to go and guard the bridge. Okay, that's fine. There's one more of the decent lads. The runaway spearmen are basically just waiting to trigger routes everywhere else. So we smashed up the last temple of Mithras while we were there. We did actually smash up the church before we left here earlier on, but you know what, that's fine. It's fine, we just smash everything. Turns out our Gothic friends are indeed running away now, as they always did. Although at this point, we should probably get out of their hair, I imagine. We did have a diplomat, did I not send him in that direction? I guess I didn't. Okay, well, we're just going to run away now, lads. Bye! Hopefully they're not angry about the whole, rebellion and trying to murder them thing. That perhaps doesn't look so good now. Okay, so these lads over here do need to get dealt with. Captain Secundus will come back to you in a moment. As for the rest of this, we should probably just take a little peek. Okay, Ravenna has... Maybe we'll come back for Ravenna. Maybe we'll just do the old Hannibal thing and just wander around the countryside, causing the problems as we go. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to plod over there, minus 3,000. We'll just go down to Rome. We'll try and pull them out of position. And yeah, let's just take out Secundus. Oh, how cute. For a moment there, the archers thought about coming to kill us. No, 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 no. These guys are going to get thoroughly horsed. Let's absolutely horse them into the dirt. And there we go. Smashy, smashy. Apparently we decided to run away before I clicked on it, but it's fine. We did a little bit of poking. That's what you want to see. So those archers have only been lightly horsed at this point, I guess we'll say. But, oh, it's the Ring of Destiny. Oh, yes, this is, it's like a cheap spin-off of Lord of the Rings, but it's the Ring of Destiny. We're going to swing on forward, shoot them down, and I think we know vaguely how a lot of this is going to go. We're going to get ourselves thrown by javelins. We're going to get ourselves routed because I'm not going to pay enough attention, but largely we're going to win, damn it. And that's pretty much what we're about to see. There's quite a few cavalry on this occasion, which is interesting. Yeah, they're starting to run already. We just grab this flank. You guys smash into them. No, they don't want to do this anymore. I don't blame them. But it's a bit too late. I would say it's a bit late, but we're terrible at charging. So there we are. Right, you guys just get back into your flank. That's absolutely fine. They seem very unhappy about all of this They do indeed. What can they do other than just, well, lose, I suppose. Get the Lancers out of there. Get the Okay, we've just lost 2 of our actual good home units. I'm a numpty, it turns out. And as you might imagine, very, very quickly, it just all ended. They just gave up and ran away. And down goes Mr. Steve. They have been thoroughly horsed here today. It looks awfully like the Vandals are getting in our way. And look at that! The Goths have taken over our old town. Ah, they always pawned after it, did they not? Unfortunately for them, we kind of destroyed it when we left, which is somewhat unfortunate for them. You should just go back and claim your old town, my good sir. Apparently it's under siege. Okay, maybe they are already doing that, who knows. The Vandals seem like, well, wherever I go, I seem to be getting in their way, which is most unfortunate. Although we will put Massilia under siege. I'm not sure that the game will be very happy with us doing that. Although it's quite a few peasants, actually. Ah, Cassius the Lily-Livered. No, he's the one I'm thinking of, the -13 morale. Oh, good old Cassius. Yes, I think he ended up here last time I was playing, so maybe that's why I was confusing him with good old Marcus the Gambler. Anyhow, time to head on in. Okay, we'll put Rome under siege. Absolutely marvellous. Let's just get ourselves a bit of a scout here, since we have... Okay, do some better scouting. Apparently I walked into their zone of control. Okay, I'll tell you what. We could do that. We could do that. That could be an interesting little test for Anarchy. We've got ourselves a load of committenses, some of the strongest lads that they can bring to the party. Aulus Flavius, who are you again? The rabble rouser who loathes farmers. Farmers? Apparently I'm now pronouncing this with a TH. Who knew, eh? Right, he's got the drunken uncle. I don't remember you that well, my good sir, so we'll just kill you.
Our foes await. Like pigs for the slaughter, they will taste sour if we leave them to stew in their own fear. So charge home, strike hard.
Indeed, humans, much like pigs, taste far more delicious when they're not full of fear. So kill them quickly. Marvellous news, marvellous news. Okay. More heads to eat in triumph. I understand, my good sir. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll grab all of our lovely, lovely, juicy warriors, get ourselves in the Great U formation of Doom. Then we just stretch that one out a little bit. Oh, that's what we want to see. Oh, look at that. Okay, we'll get these guys surrounded and murdered brutally before too long. Isn't that just marvellous? Get all of our good old Charger Cav into the centre there. Oh, they're not going to be very happy about this. Oh, horses are fun. Unlike our previous battles in the field, this one could be a little bit more tricky simply because we do have a load of committenses with some good experience on them. So we just need to be a little bit careful. Although, to be frank, I'm just going to charge these peasants because, sod it, they're just some dumb peasants. So down they go. Absolutely marvellous. They're not even good arrow fodder when you let them get horsed. Although, when you... Actually, the horsing probably is... I think what I'm using that verb for is... very much shooting them down with arrows. So yes, they didn't get thoroughly horsed. That's the whole point, Thomas. So the General Cav is going to charge us down. That works for me as well, to be honest. I'm just going to put us into a general formation. The enemy general is routing. Isn't that marvellous? Apparently we don't want to get in the formation. That's fine. So we're just getting javelins because apparently we think that's a sensible thing to do. Move back, you utter fools. And the Foderati could cause us a couple of problems, but I'm not too worried about any of that. Reinforcements, ooh, down he goes. Yes, drink and drink the blood. So, we're going on top of those committenses because I've accidentally let them get on top of me. They might last for a little while, hopefully not too long. And we are once again being javelined like utter numpties. So I'm going to pull out of there. Normally pulling out is enough to break units when they're surrounded by cav, but... Ooh, well. Very nicely done, my good sirs. Plus on my good cav for this. All for nothing, to be honest. Oh, look, someone's dead. Okay, we probably do need to actually vaguely fight this properly this time. I see, game, I see. You're not taking any of the nonsense anymore. Fine. Okay, so we'll get these guys shot. You guys get over here. Grab an actual cavalry of charge, and we'll just charge into these lads because I think That should probably do the job. You just pull to the side. That's fine. And that will be grand. Everyone else should just skirmish for the time being. Smashy, smashy. That's them gone. Good news indeed. And let's just try and pick up some of the Bucellari in the flank because they're slightly irritating at this point. You guys get on top of them. Oh yeah, I think we're starting to see it now. We are turning the screw for sure. Oh yes. No, 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 no. The Falcon. Cannot hear the Falconer anymore. Absolutely marvellous. The centre is falling apart. Oh, my Anarchy loosed upon the world. Apart from over here where we're kind of routing. Okay. Well, no, that's fine. Just continue to do your horsing. Get back to horsing. That's how we know what to do. But one way or another, the centre has essentially not held. So my bit of Yates is still somewhat intact. I hold it. Somehow I just about managed to keep that together. Okay. Okay, we got a little bit of horsing left to do, but by and large the battle is, well, at least the first part of the battle is largely won. Sheer quantity of horse is enough to take care of that committed tenses unit, which pretty much signals the end of the battle here today. There we go. There's just like one lad in the centre there who refuses to rout. This is incredibly inefficient use of our of our units as ever, which tends to happen when you have a huge pile of cav. You just throw them into the chaos machine. Perhaps at some point, what we should do, maybe what we should do is gather a pile of money. We should just kill all of our mercenaries, I think. Gain a big pile of money, and then buy some new mercenaries and send them out. Yeah, that's the plan, Thomas. Okay, so let's go and take out the other lads. Ah, oh, beautiful, some Palatina. Oh, I love. Although they are pretty much just going to get shot to ribbons. As tough as they are, they're not really going to be good enough to deal with all of this. Nonetheless, it's nice to see them on the battlefield. There's some Foederati Cav who get themselves slaughtered. What else do we have? Ah, the General. The General wants to do this, does he? Oh, that suits me. My General is right in there, ready to take you to the cleaners. And he instantly routed. Down he goes, the pagan scum. And hopefully YouTube won't ban me for that. And all will be absolutely fine. I'm actually surprised somewhat that I don't sometimes get flagged up for things like this because, you know, there is a little bit of, you know, sort of, but it could sound like I'm sort of very much saying just like kill this nationality, which is not what I'm really saying, but it's roleplay sort of. But yes, I do know someone did tell me once that they put something to do with, I can't recall what it was now. What was it? Oh yeah, in one of my videos I sang a song about the Mongol scum, is it? And yeah, they quoted that and got them, their comment got blocked and banned. Which is unfortunate because they were literally just quoting my thing. I think was it, I can't, why was that relevant? Was it the Mongol, it might have been unlocking the Mongol video, and then at the end of it I have that song, which was kind of ironic, and the person was merely pointed out, but their comment got removed because apparently it was hate speech. So there we are. I've done well not to get done for hate speech in my Total War role-playing, but hey ho. Oh, let's go look at the villa over there. That looks absolutely lovely. It's slightly out of the battle area, which is very convenient for good old Steve in the old building over here. I can't talk today. I cannot talk, but lovely stuff. Nice to see that, well, we haven't killed him, so he's still having a nice day. Nice fields of pixelated wheat. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm guessing the battle's over. A heroic victory for Amalric. Oh, glorious, glorious indeed. As I say, we could have quite a lot of similar, slightly wasteful horse battles. And in some ways wasteful. Okay, apparently my killing all the different factions was not read by the game files. There we are. Victory is ours, episode 2, but you weren't expecting it quite so soon. Marvellous. Okay, we'll sack the settlement. And technically, does that mean we've won? We've completed domination as the Ostrogoths. Marvellous stuff. Well, that's the end of that series then, ladies and gents. Marvellous news. Burgundy and Lombardy are at war. Ravenna has been sacked. We have some more money. We gave a huge pile of more money over to whoever it is, all the mercs or whatever they are. That's a bit irritating, but we'll get the mercs killed in good time. Most of them are in this army over here, so we'll get on with that one very, very soon. Okay, now I must say, I must say, as we end the term, I must say that I do think, obviously this is the first time they tried the Horde factions, but it would be really, really interesting to see, particularly on like the remaster, if they'd done a little bit more with, say, I don't know, being able to set up like a camp. I think they do this on some of the later ones. They did it on the Tiller. I can't quite recall. We're just going to poke this guy. Yeah, oh, it's Gratianus the Lily-Livered, presumably the Lily-Livered son. Absolutely marvellous. Hear the word of the Lord! Oh, marvellous. He's a melancholic martinet. I don't recall that one. I'm disciplined. Okay. -3, Craven Coward. Oh, this guy is gloriously terrible. -1 to Barbarians as well. Is that minus... So what are we on? -4, -7, -10, -11 against us. Anything else? Not quite yet. Okay. Oh, okay. -12. Not the worst I've ever seen. Pretty darn terrible. Let's kill him. Of course, the problem with having such a lily-livered general as this is that he tends to run away and generally stays alive, which is unfortunate because the longer he stays alive, the longer he gets to run armies who are all going to run away and die, while he presumably slips away and escapes. So it's not going to be the end of the world for me if we actually don't kill him here today. Can these guys swim, by the way? I'd imagine they can. Indeed, they can. So you know what? We're going to grab all of these lads. And where's a good spot? I mean, it all gets pretty wide. We'll bring them over in that general direction. We'll get them to cross over the river. But yes, in some ways it makes sense to keep this chap alive and to leave him to continuously lead his men to die. Although, they're going to start moving forward, which is interesting. We're just out of range, unfortunately. So I'm going to tell my men to go cross the river, get yourselves over there. Isn't that absolutely marvellous? Yeah, there was always the problem Barbarian Invasion where if men could cross the bridge, they would tend to cross the river by swimming anyway because they could, which was always a bit irritating. Okay, hopefully we won't die. There is obviously the stamina problem where they just drown if they're too tired, which I suppose makes sense. But I'd ideally like to not see that happen here today. So we grab our actual cav. We're going to send them over to join the battle in a couple minutes. I was about to say, luckily the skirmish mode doesn't send them running back into the sea, but it just did for a moment, although Thomas, this isn't yet a sea. This is definitely a river. I know the difference, do not worry. I teach children, by the way. Oh, lovely. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is a mountain over here, and this is soon to be a very, very dead general. So we're going to send... Yeah, don't run into the river. Just, right, I'm going to send them off skirmish mode just to actually get them to do something that's not incredibly stupid. But this guy does seem like he wants to die, which is rather interesting for the lily-livered chap that he is. Nonetheless, I think it's time to send the general over. He can go and deal with all of those lads. Down he goes. Is he going to get away? Honestly, I don't mind if the goat does manage to run away. Goats do make a good eating, my good sir, but they only really work when they're young. A good old kid is delicious. Less so with an old goat. They taste a bit goaty. So, which you'd probably expect for a goat, but hey-ho. Did we just kill... I think we just killed him. Yeah, that Equite is doing exactly what I just described, which is they've decided, because they can swim, they're going to swim, even though you were right at the bridge, which is absolutely ludicrous. Oh, well... That's just how the game went. Was that the same with that unit? Yes, it is the same with that unit. Okay, well, we're going to send everyone in to go and finish all these guys off. Absolutely lovely. So yeah, because we're going to have a few of these horse battles in this campaign, at least until I end up using up all of my horses, which is slowly happening. One thing we probably should do is try and grab enough money so that we can just get a huge pile of mercs and use those mercs to just have a slightly more fun and different creative sort of a battle. But back what I'd say in the campaign map was basically, it would be interesting, obviously, what generally happens, in fact I'll get back to it when we're on the map in a moment, because clearly this battle is done. But what tends to happen to most of the Horde factions is they just bleed themselves dry and then eventually they all die. It's a little bit sad. And with that, we'll just move on to Arles, because I do like a little trip on the Riviera. It's very nice. Even this time of year, it's still warm enough, I suppose, or at least sunny enough. Hey-ho. So, let's go and head down south. Got a little bit of money in the kitty. That's largely going to be eaten up. There we go. Once again, Huns, or the Vandals, sorry, getting in my way. Rather irritating. We'll see if they want to sally forfeit us. They might do, you know. If they do, you know what, it's fine. We'll just see what happens. So, yeah, what generally happens, though, on this is that the Horde factions bleed themselves dry and then they just kind of die out. Like, they do a really good job of smashing things up, which is kind of what the plan was, but they don't do a very good job of actually settling. I suppose this is an experiment before Medieval 2. They're planning to add in the Mongols and the Timurids. So in some ways, they do settle better on that. They've got a specific target settlement in mind. Kiev or Antioch or Jerusalem or Constantinople, and they generally aim towards one of the key settlements, which I guess does work pretty well because, yeah, clearly a problem on this is that they never settle down, which is what we're going to do, which could be a problem for us in the long term. But at some point we'll have to settle down and recharge our armies. Isn't quite yet, though, so we'll end our turn and see what happens. Sarmatians in the Eastern Empire, interesting to know, but not particularly of note to me. We'll see if the Vandals decide to settle down in a Quincum. The Vandals never seem to settle particularly often in my experience. Generally, people who start settled, like the Goths or Sarmatians, will resettle pretty quickly. I do tend to find, though, that, yeah, the Goths, the Vandals, no. They just, the Huns and the Vandals just wander around endlessly for all of time, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm just going to siege out Rome, to be honest. I'm quite happy to do that. There's nothing else down south, is there? I can't recall, actually, what any of this is. We'll send the runaway slave lads to go and keep an eye on any of that. Arles is ready to be taken out. We'll just stroll in there. We'll sack another settlement. Absolutely marvellous. These guys, what should you do? I mean, realistically, I should probably get them to come and help everyone else out. But we're just going to continue on a little tour of the Mediterranean, just burning down towns as we go. We'll just leave the odd town like Messenia on the way because it looks just a little bit big for the army needs to carry on. The army needs to carry on. So what we might do is sack the rest of Italy whilst we have the opportunity. Maybe we'll send this guy. Or should we send that guy away? Let's just merge. Okay, that isn't quite as good as I thought it might have been. Interesting. So we'll grab our good old mate Almeric. Oh, we can't. We can't do that anymore because I'm a numpty. Right, well, you, sir, you move away. That's fine. You continue with all of that business. They might sadly forfeit us, but I don't mind shooting them down, having a bit of a poke. That's not the end of the world. We're going to head down south. Another day and another town under siege. Taraco, and to be honest, almost all of Spain is almost always incredibly, terribly defended. Saharius Corpulentus over here. I do recall that Spurius is down south towards Cordoba, so yeah, not too far from where I am myself as I record. So we'll have fun slaughtering him when it comes to it. But for now, yeah, no sally at Rome. I sent the runaway slave men to run back, and it does seem like there's not an awful lot of poking going on from the Empire right now. She seems awfully quiet, which in some ways works for me. I don't think this whole making money thing is going very well. Oh, I need to kill. I mean, to be honest, does it even matter? For now, all I'm doing is just killing one of the strongest factions. Well, strongest factions. Theoretically strongest factions anyway, or at least in terms of what the army is capable of on occasion. Let's just go and plod around northern Italy. Okay. So there's a few lads over there. Can't afford any mercs, so this guy might get himself picked off. Who really cares? Doesn't look like, though, they're doing very much in terms of reconquering these towns. So, looks like it's all going very well for me. So, let's just stroll into another town. Clear victory once more. Sack the settlement. And onward we go. So, Taraco, how are you doing? You're looking a bit small now. Barracks smashed up. We left the Temple of Mithras on this occasion. We respect the Temple of Mithras, apparently. Okay, with that done, we're down to minus 95 monies. And where should we go next? I can't actually remember where all the towns are here. We've got Salamantica. I don't know. We're going to swing around the south. Now, as you found from a previous game, these Moorish mercs are absolutely abysmal. In spite of the 16 defence, they seem to just always die and run away instantly. Although maybe that's just from the Berber campaign. I think it's from the Berber campaign. If you want a lesson in just how brutal And how terrible morale can be on this game. Go watch my Berber campaign. That was very, very painful indeed. And yes, there was a point where we just had to say we've done enough. With much of Italy destroyed, then I think we should leave it with one final battle here today. And we'll head into Leonidas to Harsh because, well, he's a good old embezzler, and why not? If he hates smelly barbarians, we'll drown him in the blood of his own men. See how he likes that. Anyhow, pious man, but soon to be a dead man. Oh, isn't this absolutely glorious? Let's just shoot them down. I might not even bother letting this attached to the wall once we arrive because this is just glorious. Down go the filthy, filthy, smelly Roman peasants. Oh, isn't it glorious? Why is this so satisfying? I should probably go and see a psychiatric or something like that. Splatter into the walls. I'm pretty sure there's a clip like this already planned for the end card, so don't worry. Well, this is fun. There are a few little people there who would have flown up. Ah, they've hit the invisible sky. He could have ended up in the plaza. Or in their little, whatever you call it, their little place in the middle. Okay. No. I think we want to continue shooting them, actually. We want to continue shooting them. So you go back, and we're going to go back for a second shot, damn it. Now, you, sir, have a tower over here. Don't really want to waste you that much. We're going to go and get you to wander over here. Lovely. Oh, I forgot to rearrange this. Okay, you go and rearrange us so that we're facing this way. That will be marvellous. Okay, are we now shooting them? Not sure we are shooting them anymore. If we just run out of ammo, they just run out of ammo. Okay, I'm an idiot. Turns out I'm just an idiot. Who would have thunk it? But we do have the second tower here now, ready to cause a few more problems. So we'll just let them do the shooting. That's absolutely lovely. And with that, hopefully, we'll soon have the walls under control. Annoyingly, I've been having the bug here, which means that my entire force has got itself killed while they've been trying to climb the tower, which is rather unfortunate. So we're going to need to, well, I was saying we need to kill our mercenaries, but it isn't quite what I had in mind. So, sorry, headphone users. I'm going to have to do this to get all my men up the tower. Eventually it works, but my days is it tedious, and they're going to already give up. Okay, so with these guys... Okay, and whilst I've been doing that... Oh, I've had a double tower block. That is very, very, very unfortunate. Come on. Anyone want to get up the tower? No, they don't. Okay, this is going to be a problem. So, we've now lost on the wall, which is not ideal. Oh, God, that wasn't how this is all supposed to go. Right, you lads, get yourself up here. Anyone who wants to. Right, there we are. Come on, get yourselves up. Oh, no, we won! How did we win? That is absolutely insane and marvellous, and you're out in spite of being the only Steve up there on the wall. Okay, so we've now got that. How did this happen? What an utterly ridiculous affair that was. Well, we managed to kill the mercs and take the wall perfectly in the process. I'd say that was pretty much a perfect job. Another day, another tour of a beautiful, beautiful city. I must say that it is looking rather beautiful. They've got themselves an aqueduct, a full hippodrome, a swimming pool. Oh, it's just lovely. And indeed, they also have themselves a lovely little Roman cathedral, which is, yeah, this space is obviously reserved for the huge Temple of Mithras normally, or the awesome Temple of Mithras. And I'll be honest, the Christian church doesn't quite have the same. I mean, it's a nice enough building, but it doesn't really fill the space, does it? No. They could have at least turned this into some sort of like creepy graveyard. I do think there was a little bit of a couple short-sighted, a few bits of short-sightedness on Barbarian Invasion. Although they did try and do a huge amount on what is ultimately quite a small expansion. One thing I will say in its favour, though, this space actually is space. So unlike on the Rome Remastered, we can actually at least get our units up to the town, which is very nice. Marvellous stuff indeed. So we have ourselves a big pile of cav on the town centre. That's absolutely marvellous. We could try and tease it with just cav, but I guess we'll probably send in our proper infantry too. As ever, the game has decided to send some units. Why only a few, I don't know, but some units this way where I haven't got all the towers, although I probably should have just grabbed the towers in the first place. Nonetheless, some of them did decide to start wandering in the wrong direction, which is somewhat ridiculous. Nonetheless, we'll eventually get ourselves in position. These 3 men are going to take the brunt of the damage, which is unfortunate for them. So we'll just get everyone over here. That will be marvellous. And one guy decided to go all the way around the outside. I'm not quite sure why. It might have been the unit that was on that tower there. Even so, yeah, I feel like that could be slightly more competent. Ah, they're going around there. Well, that is very stupid indeed. I know there's a path, but sir, you do not. You are conquerors. You don't need to go and use the path. Oh, for Pete's sake. Right. Anyway, most of us are now into position, which is absolutely lovely. Get yourself onto guard. Just keep position. And I'm just going to send some lads forward to go do a little bit of the old Teasy McGee. So, good old Teasy McGee is going to start, hopefully, sending some people in this direction. That's marvellous. And in we go. These lads are already routing, which is not surprising. But we'll pull the general into the infantry trap. Normally I bother to line it up properly. I haven't on this occasion, but hey ho, it is what it is. And apparently Cav is Caving again. Okay. So yeah, putting on skirmish once again proves to be utterly incompetent in this horde formation. I think it is something to do with the loose, kind of ill-disciplined sort of formation. I think that's kind of what's going on here. And you're actually, for some reason, not selected. Fine, 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 fine. So, we will get on top of all of this, blow the horn of destiny, get on top of those numpties. Let's try and get some of these lads around the back. I feel like I've used numpties quite a lot today. I feel like it's a very child-friendly insult for my my good old units here. It's fine. I don't. It's a nice light insult for when they're doing their killing. Now this is going to be a slow, chunky affair. But yeah, with him gone, he's going to rout because it was a big pile of units there. That was about 50 of them. No. Get yourselves back in position. We'll go back to the horse teasing once again. Horsey say, horsey do, and once again they decided to run straight into battle rather than run away like they're supposed to. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. This unit, please run away like you're supposed to. There we are. You pulled them in. That's about right. Okay, at this point we're probably okay just to actually send them in and finish off the job. Yeah, lovely. So the Christian church is very, very nice. It's just a little bit small over there. We could have a nice creepy old yard there, graveyard. But hey ho. Right, we'll charge in the general, blow the horn of destiny, and it doesn't really matter if he dies because we're just going to finish them off. Beautiful stuff. Quite a few men lost here today, which is unfortunate, but okay, only 882 to be paid to mercs this time. Oh, the money's looking much better now. Oh, indeed. So yes, I think what we should probably do, you've served me well, but goodbye, my good old mercenary friends. And that leaves us with only a couple other mercs, a couple up here that we expensively hired and now aren't going to bother with at all. So if you three would like to royally sod off, that would be marvellous. We'll send these guys down south. And I think then the only mercs will be the ones left in this army who are currently quite necessary to keep this all going. So, okay. We're gonna... I think we've figured out a way of doing this now. I haven't hoarded for a long time. So, yes, don't buy mercs. Build up your pile of money and then buy the mercs. Try not to lose your main units like I have here. But nonetheless, things are going pretty darn well. We've torn the Western Empire to shreds, which is absolutely marvellous. Our Gothic friends have a... Oh, I did have a diplomat over here. Let's get a ceasefire if they will do it. Perhaps they will. Yeah, we can't get the trade rights I normally get because obviously we're not settled. So, we're peaceful for now. We'll let them deal with all their problems. They don't have Colonia Dacia. Okay. Oh, look, a Roxalaning lad. Can we be friends? I don't know why I want to be, but I want to be someone else's friend. Isn't that marvellous? So, next time we'll take out Rome. It's 5 turns from defeat. We'll take out yet more of Iberia, most likely take on the world's most Christian man, and hopefully we'll have less slightly terrible attempts to quote Yeats' poetry. And I will leave you for now. I'm Thomas, this is Tenes to Hear Him, and this has been an Ostrogoth Horde only campaign. Thank you, and goodbye. In come the fire arrows, and if you're not aware, by the way, this is actually a traditional bourbon greeting. It says, come and dance with us, come and dance in the flames, come and dance and die on our streets. We have ourselves a foothold in Italy. They broke! We had them entirely surrounded.